stability. You've been rough on just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. Storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known I never kissed the rain. Ice runs in my veins, won't play it safe. I don't belong with your nobility. Who died and made you king of anything? You think that I'm insane? It's your mistake. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. I'll take it. I've come to take it. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. I'll take it all. Storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, 'cause that's what it takes.
All right, y'all. Happy Sunday. Mic check. Yeah, it looks like it's working. Sunday, January 25th. Welcome to Snowpocalypse 2026. Let me know in the chat how much inches of snow, sleet, or ice you are dealing with tonight. As you guys know, I'm in Central Texas and we were shut down today. Nobody could do anything because unlike I saw some friends had 10 inches of snow or more over the weekend. Last night we had about an inch of freezing sleet, ice, whatever you want to call it. I wouldn't call it snow. Half inch to 2 inches, depending on where it accumulated. And it is just everywhere. If I walk out in my backyard, it's like walking on a frozen lake. It's rock solid. You can hear it creaking. You know you're a couple inches above the dirt. And the roads are like that too here. So nobody basically went anywhere today. We're just not prepared for snow or ice. And we only really get it maybe, I'd say, I've been here since 85. Once every 7 years, maybe. And we had a good snowstorm in 2021 that lasted a week. This will all be gone by tomorrow afternoon. So here locally, we're only having to suffer a day and a half, but everything in the city was shut down. Everything in the city, including, told my wife, I said, I really want to go to a movie. She's like, why are you even checking? You know, nothing's going to be open. Nothing. And she was right. Nothing was open. And even if it was, how are you going to get there? The roads, you just can't travel on them. I grew up driving on ice. I can do just fine, but this wasn't snow. This wasn't packed snow. There was no chance of friction melting it. And, the only thing they will treat is those overpasses that are 200 feet in the air. Those will get a little bit of light treatment, but everything else, forget about it. You ain't going nowhere. And God forbid you get on a slope. You're done for here. And we got a lot of hills. 4 inches in New York City, Broke Ape says. Baby UFO says he's in Hawaii working on his, what'd you say, your solar array and gutters. I got to clean out my gutters for spring cleaning, Baby UFO. But not today. It's too damn cold. We were at about 20 to 24 degrees today with the wind chill. I don't know, -5, -9. But not that bad inside. We just kind of cuddled up, watched some TV. I read a book. What's the name of the book I'm reading? Anyways, I put it in the finance education room in the Discord if you want to check it out. And that kind of leads me into this week's topics, and we're going to touch on it. We're going to flirt with it a little bit tonight, mainly because before I do the first video on diversification, I just wanted to have a little dialogue with you guys to see what questions you have, or even for you to challenge me Now, you know, if you're in my Discord, I talk about diversification and risk management a lot. It is fun to speculate. It is fun to chase short squeeze plays and all of that. But for me personally, I don't full port my entire account into one stock. And even when I hear people talk about me on other channels, they'll say, oh, well, he had a thumbnail that said AMC GME or AMC GME. Therefore, that must be diversification to him. It's a little strange that someone would jump to a conclusion about that when in my live streams, I constantly tell you guys I don't own AMC. I have a small position in GameStop, that you should diversify into a portfolio that is mainly built on profitable companies with a long history of growing revenues and growing profits. I feel like a broken record saying this stuff over and over. Yet people like to just look at a thumbnail and then lie about my coverage every day. Come join the discussion. Let's have a talk. I will help you understand what I mean by diversification. But first, you must open your ears and tune into the channel. I get really, really tired of the people that love to lie and misconstrue what we teach here on this channel by the simple fact that they don't ever tune in. They look at a thumbnail and they make an assumption. And that's probably why they are broke on most of their plays. They look at a thumbnail, they read one sentence that someone put out on a tweet, and they full port their portfolio in something. They don't ever stop to really dig. Broke Ape says, Tony, no MOAS for yo ass. Look, if there's a MOAS, I will be in it again. I made a lot of money in June of 2021 trading AMC, but did I put my entire portfolio in it back then? No. I had a small position of stock. I bought some options when it was cheap before it got super popular. And then a week later, it skyrocketed and I sold all of the options. I made, I don't know, between 5 and 6 figures on a small investment. And I was getting really mad at Trey and Matt for telling people to keep buying options as the stock is rocketing up. I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing? And that moment is when I decided to start my YouTube channel, because they wouldn't chat to anybody. They wouldn't have conversation. And they certainly weren't exhibiting good risk management, in my view. I said, I'm already sitting here trading every day. I could have some talks with the folks, cover the same stocks, and at least, have some reasonable discussions about selling into run-ups. So I enjoy the same stocks as many very speculative YOLO traders. It's not the foundation of my portfolio. It's, if you are correct and if you have good risk management, it's a way to juice your returns beyond what the indexes are bringing into the person who's just on a passive ETF type investment. And I have the time to do it. I have the time to sit here and research and watch stocks, watch charts, day trade, swing trade, long-term invest, whatever it is. I mean, everything is a little bit different depending on the ticker. Might be in and out of a ticker in 5 minutes. I might be like GameStop now. I've been holding it for several months, just buying it when it's cheap, just over $20, and sell when it runs up, which might be $30. I don't know. Might be 50. It just really depends. We'll see. We will see if it happens. But that's what I've been doing with GameStop for years. Buy cheap, sell into run-ups. Buy cheap. Oh, wait. You got to wait. Then buy cheap, sell into run-ups. Same thing with AMC. I famously, as you guys know, exited any position I had whatsoever remaining in 2023 to a lot of hate. Got blocked by a lot of people, called a shill, blah, blah, blah. But we knew that there was going to be dilution at the end of 2023, and there was. We talked about it for a year leading up to that moment. I got back in after the price bottomed out in 2024. We made some money running the wheel, and then AMC squoze up briefly from $1.50, $2 to 15. I made a profit on the shares that I was running the wheel on, plus 1,000% on some call options I bought right as it began to run when Roaring Kitty came back. And, I've been swing trading AMC since I exited, not a buy and hold. I'm not down. In fact, I've been out of the trade completely since November of 2024. And we are reporting on it, carefully watching it, because many of you are still interested in it. I love understanding, watching, living retail psychology. And I think that there is a chance at some point this year where there might be an opportunity for me to get another entry on this stock with an edge for a quick swing trade. But there are corporate actions coming, in my opinion, in my DD, that have me still out of the trade. I've been out for 14 months. But people tell you, Tony's he's talking about this stock because he wants to move you into AMC. I do not want to move you into AMC. I have not been in it for 14 months. Let's get one thing straight. And anytime you hear someone talking about me and AMC, remind them that I don't own any. And the why, I've been sharing the why for 14 months. So the people that say that stuff either just don't watch the channel, they like to make up a false narrative, or they know exactly that I don't own the stock and they just enjoy lying to their audience because they don't want people to come over here and get some realistic, non-emotional trading advice, trading discussion. Anya says they got 8 inches of snow in Maryland. Starving dogs, what's going on? I'm going to take this picture down and we'll look at some stock charts and then we'll talk a little bit about diversification. But my thought of the day is, and this is going to be one of 2 topics that I'm really going to be hitting hard this week and mentioning from time to time throughout the rest of this year. And not because I want to beat you guys over the head with it. If you're a regular viewer of this channel, you probably already are familiar with this stuff. But there are a lot of people out there in YouTube land that will tell you diversification is dumb. Don't even think about it. Sell all your stocks and only put them in this one ticker. That is very, very dangerous advice. Now, if the bet is correct, yes, you would have tremendous gains, right? But if you are not correct, are you correct to beat 99% of the experts out there and pick the one stock that's going to 100x? Are you that good? If you're not correct and the company that you're investing in has any stumble or the market collapses or whatever, you have what we call company-specific risk, and your portfolio is not diversified at all. So we don't know how high, if we're right, things could go. We can't quantify the reward. We can dream about it. A lot of people dream about it, but we can't quantify it. What we can quantify is the risk. We can quantify risk in a bunch of different ways, and this is not going to be a risk management live stream. But you could do your due diligence on the company, the executives, the financials, the market trends, the revenue trends, the earning trends, the competition. There's a lot of different ways to measure risk. But ultimately, your risk comes down to the dollars. How much dollars have you allocated to the trade? And if that one went wonky, if the worst happened, would you be devastated? I pay attention to so many retail tickers over the last 5 years, and I read the stories, people committing suicide, people lost their parents because they couldn't afford to give them an operation. They lost all of their money and their parents' money. They lost their kids' college tuition. They lost their homes. Because why? They put all of their money in one very speculative stock on the hope that they would be the 1% that got it right. And in many cases, they were correct that so much momentum built up in those stocks. Some of them went up 4, 5, 6, 8, 10x, and they still didn't take any profits. They watched it go all the way up, 10x their money, and then melt back down to zero. Most of these companies are now in bankruptcy or receivership or court battles, GTII, BBIG, MMTLP, BBBYQ, Mullen, about to be in the same boat. The list is endless. What do these all have in common? They were highly speculative, highly risky stocks that for whatever reason, people piled their entire life savings into them. In some cases, some of these stocks had zero revenue. MMTLP, GTII. What the heck are people thinking? How do we get collectively as traders so enamored in an idea that you throw all caution and common sense to the wind? It's because people tell you, sell everything and put it in this one ticker. You're going to be a millionaire. In fact, some channels start out their channel greeting people by calling them hello millionaires, as if it's a fait accompli, as if it's a known fact. While these people have a demonstrated history of being in the red for 5 years and missing multiple opportunities to sell at a profit, wait for it to come back down and buy back in. If they loved the company, they could have doubled or tripled their position size. But they're so stuck in this moon man mentality that they can't use good common sense of how to manage risk or how to diversify. These same people will tell you don't diversify. I mean, Godspeed. I hope it works out for you in whatever ticker you're in. If you chose to put your entire life savings or your entire stock portfolio in one ticker, I hope it works out. I'll probably be in that ticker when it runs, if it runs, and I will take an exit into the green. And if it doesn't run, if it turns against me, I will also take an exit. That's another part of the risk mitigation, knowing your exit before you take the trade. Starving Dog says, are you live streaming Bull? We might talk about Bull tonight. And it is a ticker that I own for a 1, 2, 5 year trade. It's not something that we're expecting to run up tomorrow, but I like the stock. Let's put up the trading screen here. And we don't need that top screen. All right, we'll get to some tickers in a minute. The key thought, just to kick us off here, you cannot quantify the reward, but you can quantify the risk. And it is my hope, even if I only reach 1 or 2 or 5 of you, to get you to at least consider the concept. I'm not telling you need to go make any major changes in your portfolio. If you're in love with one stock and you're determined to stay in it, then make your choices. But if you go to sleep asking yourself, if this thing were to fall 50 or 70% overnight when I woke up, would my life suck? Would I be upset? Would it hurt my family or myself? If that type of risk exists, you're probably over allocated into one ticker. And there might be some of you that say, oh, I don't care if I lose $50,000. I don't care if I lose $100,000. There might be some of you that say that and truly mean it. But I literally have been hearing people crying, sobbing, traveling up to Congress, going to protests, media events, press events, because their families and their lives are devastated across umpteen tickers. I know you guys see it too. I don't want you to be another victim, a victim of social media talking only about pie in the sky and not one single time about actual real due diligence or risk. We're going to move in a second to what is diversification, what is good diversification, what is bad diversification. We're going to get to that in a second, but let's talk about a couple of tickers tonight. And keep in mind, if you are just joining in, just because I'm talking about these tickers does not mean that I own them. I report on a lot of stocks that I don't own because they have high retail interest, and mostly because there's a lot of misinformation. So if you want to know if I own it or not, you can ask me. I will gladly, I try and be as transparent with you guys as I can. Do I own it? Am I hoping for a MOAS? Is it a swing trade? How long have I owned it? Happy to talk about all of that stuff. GameStop got a lot of attention last week. This is the ticker on the screen right now because Ryan Cohen did two 500,000 share purchases at between $21 and $22, let's call it, around $20 million investment of his own money into the stock. And we almost always view executive buys as bullish on this channel. There are a few scammers like Roger Hamilton at Genius Group, in my opinion, who do buys just to trick retail into FOMOing into a failing company. But that is not the case with GameStop. So it got a lot of bullish attention. Then we had we had some good write-ups. What's that company's name? Domo Capital said that they're back in GameStop. We got the upcoming vote in March or April about Ryan Cohen's compensation plan. We'll see how that goes. People have mixed opinions about it. I do have a small position in GameStop. I'm not invested in GameStop because of the brick and mortar business. It just doesn't have the numbers to justify an increasing price, right? If we just look at the brick and mortar, they're shutting down 500 stores globally this month in January. Falling revenue is a problematic thing, but you'll probably have increased margins. So there's a bit of a trade-off. I'm watching for what they might do in growing their collectibles business, power packs, and more importantly to me, the reason I am speculating, I say that word because I can't predict the future and management hasn't communicated anything. So what other word can I use? I get it. The other channels guarantee you and promise you things. I'm not here to try and trick you like that. I'm speculating in GameStop. I'm betting on it based on some future use of $8.8 billion in cash to transform the business into something new and something better, into something with more earnings, into something that I could do a defensible analysis of earnings and tell you this stock is undoubtedly worth 40, 50, 60, $100. I can't do that right now. I can only tell you I'm betting, I'm gambling that Ryan Cohen has good intentions. I believe Ryan Cohen has good intentions. You could disagree. The bears disagree, certainly. That's fine. Everybody can have a different opinion. I'm just telling you why I have a small investment in GameStop. I own shares and warrants. I'm in the green. My buys over the past couple months have been when it hit this demand zone down around 19, 20 bucks, 21. Boom, 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 boom. Last time I sold GameStop was up here, 33 bucks. Waited a long time to buy back in. That was May of 2025. I've been swing trading this stock for a long time, which might mean I buy it cheap and then hold it for a week, a month, 2 months, whatever it takes. We keep on testing this supply zone right here, and you could say you should have sold here, and maybe if it rejects here, maybe you could say you should have sold here again, and maybe the third time I will. But I think if there's enough juice on social media or some news from Ryan Cohen that we could go up here and retest the 30 to 32 range. So I'm in a good position. It's not my entire portfolio. It's a small position for me. I'm just looking to repeat the practice of making a profit and locking in the profit. I'm far more in the profit than any GameStop investor who's been holding for 5 years because they are all in the red. And I just keep on ringing the cash register. And I will do it again. And if that hurts your feelings, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, the Burry, thank you, Michael Burry post. There's a lot of things stacking up that I'm excited about, just like you guys are excited about. Wouldn't it be fun if Roaring Kitty came back too? Michael Burry says he's going to drop his Substack report tomorrow and it's going to be a doozy. I have no idea what he has in mind. There's all the rumors about Bitcoin going on too. GameStop is down. Q4 is just about over at the end of this month. And with Bitcoin trading at around 87,000, GameStop is looking at a unrealized or realized, if they sell, loss of about $80 million on their Bitcoin. So that would affect Q4, whether it's an unrealized loss or a realized loss. We got 6 days to see if Bitcoin shoots back up. But that's kind of weighing on things a little bit. But in the meantime, look, the bullish, whatever happens with Bitcoin, not the end of the world to me. Closing locations, not the end of the world to me. I get it. I've talked with you guys many times about declining revenues is going to be seen badly by Wall Street. Just prepare yourself. Wall Street likes a winning story, improving revenues, improving earnings. When you don't have both of those pieces, they're going to punish you. So if you're wondering why won't they give it the value? Because revenue's going down. We have a little bit of an offset that margins are improving, and that's good. We have a beautiful balance sheet, highly liquid, highly solvent. We got the insiders buying. I think it's a bullish bet with a slight edge in favor of the bulls, which is why I'm long the stock. Is that fair? I don't have any discounted cash flow where I could tell you it's worth $40. It's not. It's not based on the data we have. You could create assumptions about your own DCF or future assumptions of earnings, and that's fine if you want to do that. I present your data. I probably wouldn't even argue with you because that's all just opinion. But my bet, just so we're clear, is a transformational use of cash. Whether that's 6, 12, 18, 24 months from now, I don't know, which is why I'm trying to be very particular about when I buy. Because if I got to hold it for 2 years, I don't want to be here bitching at you. I don't want to be complaining. I just want to Yeah, it's one more long-term investment for me. And if I get lucky and it moons this week or next week, well, then that's a bonus. So that's where we're at with AMC. A lot of exciting things to keep an eye on. Michael Burry post being the next most exciting thing. AMC, another retail stock. I have no position in this stock. I haven't owned it for 14 months. There are still some red flags that I've talked to you guys about ad nauseum. You're probably sick of hearing about it. Of why I'm not ready to re-enter the trade. A couple of boxes that need to be checked related to the exchangeable notes, $154 million, and a upcoming expected ATM of $150 million. Those are risks that we've been forecasting for a very long time and have kept me out of the trade. And guess what? We've avoided this entire walk down. All of this. I got out up here, $4.34. It's at $1.56 right now. Not because I hate the company. I go to a lot of movies. I went to over 100 movies at AMC. I didn't own the stock last year. I didn't own the stock. I like movies. I want the company to do well, but I'm not going to watch my portfolio melt away when my DD is telling me that there is more dilution coming and the company is not profitable or cash flow positive. They're going to keep on needing to raise cash. And so I need to get a couple of those risk things that we're bound to get news on them very, very soon in the coming weeks. When I see what that news is, then I will decide what to do next. If I'm wrong, beautiful. All the concerns are behind us and I can go long into a much better expected 2026 box office. If I'm right, maybe those corporate filings that I'm expecting tell me, Tony, just be patient for 6 weeks. Let this ATM get behind us. Let the price get ground down and then come in and buy, because they won't be able to dilute again till June or July. So I don't know. I can't guarantee I'll be right. I just take a chance, take a chance. I mean, I share my due diligence with you guys here publicly, so you can laugh at me or you can hate me, but we have been right on this stock for going on 3 years. Yes, before 2022, we didn't look at financials. We were looking at short interest, and the company had billions of cash. But when they started running out of shares and running out of cash, we had to flip and start really paying attention to it like a real stock. I think we've done a good job of reporting with integrity on this stock. I don't give price targets. I don't talk about shorts, naked shorts. I don't talk about the short interest is fake. All of the things you hear everywhere else. We report. I trade on reported short interest in the company financials. That's it. And the company filings and the financials are what are keeping me out of the trade. But I expect that may change soon. And there was a little bit of news on Friday about some meeting with the bondholders wanting to talk with AMC, 2029 bondholders. I don't know why they're trying to talk to AMC this early, other than the fact that the company is very low on cash. And if I'm correct, they're going to burn half their shares in the next month or two. And they'll be back down to only 250 million shares or so available. They got 525 million in bonds due in 2027. So the 2029 guys, they might be sitting back saying, well, shit, we are fucked. They might be wanting to start having some conversations with AMC right now. Because if you can't pay the 2027 guys, how are you going to pay the 2029 guys? So I don't know, what to say or think about that rumored article, other than I don't think you should just dismiss it as FUD. And I think you should find some bond traders of your own. I have mine, and you should go talk to bond traders about this stuff. If you really want to become a sharp trader, not a square, not a loser. If you want to be a sharp trader on these troubled stocks, you better go find some bond traders to ask questions to. Then you will see right through all this pump nonsense on social media. Oh, that article's just FUD. That's what the pumper channels, just block them if they told you about that article. There's a lot of people, guys, that are trying to really cultivate a circle the wagons, head in the sand, cult-like narrative. Block anybody that doesn't say that this thing's going to the moon. I would tell you, go find your own bond traders and cultivate a relationship. Ask them, why might the 2029 bondholders be concerned in AMC? Find some bond traders you can talk to on YouTube or Twitter or Reddit that are not involved in this play at all. It will fundamentally change how you view these stocks, and it will lift the veil from all the people that are lying to you on social media, telling you to block anybody, because there's a lot of people that don't want you to level up your education or your learning or your analytical ability. They need you to keep buying, buy every day. Meanwhile, what's happened? It's fallen from $5 to $1.50, wiping out the whole second generation of people after the first generation got wiped out by not selling in 2021. Now the second generation's got wiped out, and who knows what's going to happen next. Hang on one second. I'll be right back.
A red candle down by the dip, got a hold our ground. We've been waiting for so long, edges rain will soon be gone. A green candle up, a red candle down by the dip, got a hold our ground. Edges gains are dead and gone, fuck the shorts, we're going long. If you doubt it, sit and stare. If you love it, buy a share. A green candle up, a red candle down by the dip, gotta hold our ground. We've been waiting for so long, heavy rains will soon be gone. A green candle up, a red candle down by the dip, gotta hold our ground. Edges gains are dead and gone, fuck the shorts, we're going long. If you doubt it, sit
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Sounded like someone was trying to break in the house, but it was just one of my wife's pets throwing a bunch of shit around because it was hungry. So where were we? We're talking about AMC. Enough of that. I have a question. Yes, we will talk about some other tickers. I want to see in the chat, though, while we're talking about the next ticker, in your guys' opinion, what are some examples of bad diversification? I'm going to go first. For example, I hear other YouTubers say this. Tony tells you to be diversified because he wants you to put all your money in AMC and GameStop. To him, that is diversification. Now, I would say that is an example of bad. That is not diversification. Owning two meme stocks, one of which is failing financially, is not diversification. I think we all probably know what is good diversification, but what are some examples of people using bad diversification or no diversification? I'm going to pull up a ticker while you drop your comments below. And have you heard anybody out there saying, Tony believes diversification means putting all your money in AMC and GameStop? I hope you guys, I hear people say that. It cracks me up. Because if you listen to me, you know that is not true. Any thoughts on APLD? Applied Digital, haven't looked at it. Chart looks good, $3 to 40 cents. I bet if we looked at the earnings from April of 2025 up to October and now, I bet the earnings look just like this chart, don't they? Let's pull it up real quick. APLD. Income statement, quarterly, net income. Oh, they have a negative net income. Interesting. Growing revenue 2x'd. Analyst forecast price target $35. Low of $7 from one analyst, high of 58 from another. Recent analyst price targets 53, 58, 41, and 36. That's a huge range of analyst price targets, all provided within 2 days of each other, 36 to 58. So a wide variety of opinions about what is going to happen with this company. Data center hosting business, formerly known as Applied Blockchain. Yeah, I don't know enough about it to have an opinion other than I'm just going to give you my 5-second what would I look for before I decide to dig deeper. I'd look at operating income. It's almost always been negative. Net income, negative. Free cash flow, negative, and getting worse. So not a great income statement. Balance sheet, we'll look at the working capital and the shareholders' equity to get a quick read on how total assets and current assets look to compared to total liabilities and current liabilities. Got a positive shareholders' equity, which is good, and a positive working capital. Cash, so that is good. Cash, almost $2 billion. It looks like they did a cash raise because it jumped up. Total current assets jumped up almost $2 billion. the debt jumped up, so that's probably where the money came from. That's cash on the balance sheet. And we can confirm that by looking at the cash flow statement. Financing cash flow, total debt issued. Yeah, so they took on a bunch of debt to refinance some and then put cash on the balance sheet. They're barely operating cash flow negative. Barely operating cash flow negative. So not red alarm. And considering how much cash they have on the balance sheet, I'm not super concerned about that. Probably if you're familiar with the company, you know why they raised all that cash, what they intend to do with it. I don't know. What are they buying Bitcoin? Are they investing in hyperscaler facilities? I don't know. And I wouldn't know without looking into some more articles. So, I mean, that's about all I can tell you on a quick, just walk right up and look at it. Chart looks good. It's very close to the average analyst price target. I'd go look at the analysts that have higher price targets and lower and understand why. Why did one say it's going to 58 and another down to whatever the low there was? And what is the management story? What is the plans for revenue? Is it really going to grow from 144 million to 853 million? Even if it does, the earnings forecasts are not that great. I don't know. I mean, it looks a little iffy to me, but I don't know much about the company, so. All right. What is bad diversification? Let's see if anybody has any interesting thoughts here. Anya says investing solely in Railtown is bad diversification. That would be an example of bad diversification, Anya. So there's two examples. Investing in just GameStop, that would be a bad example. That is not diversification. It's beautiful if it works out, but if it doesn't work out, you have everything in one company. Investing in AMC and GameStop, two meme stocks. One of them with declining revenue, but the promise of maybe doing something with the balance sheet. The other with declining revenue, growing revenue, but troubled earnings and a troubled balance sheet. Third example from Anya, investing just in Railtown. Now, I do have a long position in Railtown. I know Anya does too, but we have a very risk managed position. This is a pre-revenue, zero revenue OTC AI company. We don't know what the revenue is going to be. We expect that they will report some revenue this year by summer even. So it's one of our little side bet plays, and same strategy as GameStop. Buy it when it's cheap and manage your risk by sizing the position correctly. And if we're right, that the gains will be outsized, right? If you had 1,000 in it, maybe that turns into a couple months into $2,000, $5,000, $10,000. Who knows? Depends on the revenue and the earnings. I have no idea. I hear a lot of people throwing numbers out, but I don't know. If we're wrong, we have literally put in it what we're willing to lose, and there will be no crying or gnashing of teeth. It looks like a Guinness. Who is that? Mr. Premium. This is a Texas brew. It is the Real Ale Brewing Company. It is a Russian Imperial Stout. Where is this brewery located? Blanco, Texas, or Blanco, if you are trained in Español. Si hablas Español, decimos Blanco. Si estás un gringo, se dice blanco. Blanco, Texas. But yeah, it tastes just like a Guinness. I mean, sorry to the UK boys. I bought a 6-pack sampler. So I got some other flavors to try different nights of this week. This is the first one I have ever had, and I'd buy it again. Tiny Boat Angler, what's up? The fish are biting. Pond Prowler Adventures. Wait, you telling me we got 2 fishermen in here? Tiny Boat Angler and Pond Prowler. Broke Ape says, here's another example of bad diversification spread across GME, AMC, BBAI, Tilray, and costs. Yeah, those are all meme stocks. So that would not be good diversification. Well, I'll get more into what would be proper diversification in a quick 5 or 6 minute video that I'll put out one day this week. But I think you guys kind of know what is proper diversification. It's very easy to see it when it's laid out, right? You could have stocks, real estate, metals, bonds. I'm not giving you any magic formula. I'm just saying if you're spread out across different asset classes, that is one way to diversify. But if we're looking just at people in securities, stocks and bonds, you could, there's traditional formulas that if you're counting on your investments to fund your retirement, the older you get, the more you want to move into bonds because they're more stable. And the younger you are, the more you want to be in stocks. You could follow that basic advice. I don't strictly follow that. I enjoy being much more invested in equities than I probably should be at my age. But that's fine. Everybody is different. There's no magic for everyone. That is another way to be diversified. If you're just looking at securities, you could split between stocks and bonds. But now let's really drill down. What is diversification if you're all in equities? Is it GameStop and AMC and costs and Tilray diversified? Hell no. Is owning one of those companies diversified? Even worse. Owning one of any company is very, very dangerous. And I shared the story on my Twitter and with you guys before about my friend who worked at Windstream, and management made some bad decisions, and after decades the company went bankrupt, and one of his coworkers had put her entire investment portfolio in the company stock, and she worked there. So not only did she lose her job, she got her entire portfolio wiped out. She believed in the company. She believed in management, and they failed her. And, that is unfortunate. Surprising things can happen when we least expect it. If she had only been diversified, she would have taken a spanking. She would have lost her job. She might have lost some of her investments, but not everything. And you don't want to lose everything in your 40s or 50s or 60s. It is almost unrecoverable. Or, if you were intelligent and you invested since your 20s, you certainly don't want to lose 20 years of gains. So what I consider good diversification, let me see if I can change this. What is good diversification? Would be, if you're in equities, like we already talked about different asset classes, we talked about stocks versus bonds. If you're in equities, one way to diversify is to make sure that one ticker is not the majority of your portfolio, even if it's a good company, whatever your favorite company is. Tesla, Visa, Coke, McDonald's, whatever it is. Diversification meaning 5 or 10% maximum is that one ticker. You could say to yourself, I want to find 10 good tickers. And I'll try and keep around 10% in each one. Or maybe you have the time to find 20 good ones, 5% in each one. You could be lazy and just say, I'm good enough that I can pick the 5 best stocks out there. Then you have 20% in each one. You got to decide what is good for you. But diversification would mean that you're finding tickers that are in different sectors, right? Maybe defense, maybe finance, maybe consumer goods, maybe AI. You don't want to own 5 different AI companies. And that's all you own. Because if AI bubble pops, you're screwed. You might say, AI is the growing thing, and I want to weight heavy my portfolio into AI companies, and I want to spread my risk out amongst them. Okay, I get that, but you don't want your entire portfolio to be AI. Anya says, Tony looks like he's been ready to challenge the wilds of Alaska. Yeah, Anya, I've been growing this beard, waiting for a cold winter blast. I'm going to share a funny story with you, Anya, and some of you gents may be able to relate too, but a lot of times before I come in to do a live stream, I'll go in the bathroom and I'll just trim the beard up a little bit. And my wife's from the other room. Why are you cutting your beard? What are you doing in there? She gets really, really mad if I cut it. Even if I trim it. I'm like, I'm trying not to look like a homeless person. Stop cutting the beard. She doesn't give many orders. But that one I can count on it without fail. If she's home and she hears that little what are you doing in there? Why are you cutting your beard? She likes the manly look. As far as she's concerned, I could have the whole Kenny Rogers thing going on and she'd be fine with it. But it always cracks me up because I'm in there doing my thing, trim. Zzz. I'm just waiting, and it never fails. Stop cutting your beard. I do have a heater, Dink, but it's fucking cold here. It's cold. And I don't like running my heater 24 hours a day. I think I have it set on 74. It was before I came in this room. We had heat just for our room, and I had the rest of the house on about 69. So it was cold in here, so I put on my jacket. But right now it's getting warm. I should probably take the jacket off. G. Turner says, I wish my wife liked my beard. Anya says, I hate it when my son lets his beard get scraggly. I think he looks better shaved. Yeah. I'm going to be trimming it down here soon, Anya. This is only a couple days worth of growth. I like a little bit of scraggle, but not usually the long beard. But, this time of year, it's fine. I'm not going out in public. Pond prowler. Anya says we keep the house max at 70 and 64 at night. Yeah, Anya, that's about the same with me. Like 69, 70 is what I'll keep the house at. And we'll have it a little warmer in our room, but not at night. But when my wife has to come like into the kitchen or something, she's like, I can't even go into the rest of the house. I'm like, well, we got 2 stories here in a big house. We don't need to heat the entire thing when you're resting in bed watching TV. I'm just not going to do that. Put an extra pair of socks on, put a coat on, a sweater, something. So I'm with you, Anya. You gotta be frugal. Be frugal with your temperature, and I will turn it back down when I'm done filming in here. What is good diversification? I think we kind of went through it. Make sure you have companies in different sectors. Own more than 5, 10, maybe 20 if you could find them. Whatever number suits you. There are people that will tell you, Warren Buffett said, if you could find one good company, why would you keep looking? That is a bastardization of what Warren Buffett said. Did Warren Buffett in his career only own one company? I love how people try and twist stuff to fit their pumper narrative. Warren Buffett knew how to properly diversify. You don't want all of your risk in one company. That is a bastardization of what Warren Buffett said. You can find a couple of other ideas in different sectors. And ideally, you want companies where you believe in the management. Management has a good track record. The revenues are growing and positive. Well, revenues should always be positive, right? Revenues are growing and earnings are positive and growing. For most retail traders, that wipes out most of what y'all are trading right now, because y'all aren't investing in stuff that has growing revenues and positive and growing earnings. People get drawn like a moth to the flame of companies that are failing, companies that have no revenue. Because why? Someone said they have a high short interest. Well, I can see the short interest. It's not that high. That's fake. That data's fake. They have an answer for everything, And how are you doing in those trades? You're red in all of them, pretty much. Except for every now and then they pop up and then they tell you don't sell them. Oh, well, fuck. You just lost again. You had a chance and you just lost again. I want to help you break that cycle by just applying a little bit of common sense. Just a little bit. The other kind of thing I want to leave you with, and we're going to be talking about this because I said it's my New Year's resolution to do better on one of the basic rules. I always do good on cutting my losses, right? We talk about a lot of tickers on this channel. And if I buy one of them and if it doesn't work out, I will cut my losses. Might be that day, the next week, the next month. Whenever I realize that my due diligence or my idea is not working out, I will take a critical look at it and say, did I mess something up here? Cut the loss. If I feel like it's a blue chip company, but I need to give them a little more time, I might buy a little more. But I will not hesitate to cut a company, and especially if it's a troubled company that was a very speculative bet. If things were to not work out, I will gone. Cut your losses early. And the second rule, which I need to make sure I keep repeating to myself because I didn't do a good enough job of it last year, let your winners run. That doesn't mean you can't take profits off as it's moving up. But as long as the chart is moving up, let it run. Let it run. You could peel a little bit off here and there. And again, I'm not necessarily talking about things that just moon out of nowhere, right? When silver and gold are running and Hycroft is going from $2 to $50, as long as metals are running, Hycroft's going to run until there's some new news. What? As long as metals are running and you think they're going to keep running, let it run. Let your position run. Take a little bit off. You're up 2,000%. Why not take a little bit off? Get your initial investment back. Just as an example. Pond Prowler. He says, I diversify. I invest in AMC stock, AMC popcorn, AMC tickets, and AMC popcorn buckets. You forgot popcorn buckets, you shill. You shill. And merch. Yeah, Anya. Let's keep them straight. You forgot merch and popcorn buckets. You're not doing your part. Dink says, best loss is your first loss. Pond Prowler, silver and gold, silver and gold. That is the only part of the song I know. Silver and gold, silver and gold. Yeah, apparently that's all I know too. That's all I know. I'm giving, my brain's like, no, I got nothing. I know he says, wahoo! Only finds AZ says, do you like USAR? I've been reading a lot about rare earths and not this company in particular, but I have folks in the Discord that are wanting to broaden our discussions beyond silver and gold, and I think it might be time to do that. Rare Earth Inc. is a supplier of sintered neomagnets and other rare earth metals. Interesting. I don't know what a sintered neomagnet is. I know what a magnet is. What is ND? Company is developing a NDFEB, something iron. Shit, man. Chemistry was not my strong suit. I remember some of the element signs, but not all of them. They're developing some magnet manufacturing plant in Stillwater, Oklahoma, and intend to establish domestic rare earth and critical mineral. Yeah, I mean, interesting. Company serves a variety of industries such as defense, robotics, electric vehicles, wind power, appliances. I like it. USAR, $5 up to 43, back down to 11 at 24 right now. Trump just bought in. Oh, is that the one that I saw in the news? USAR. Maybe I think that's what made me think that we need to start looking at some of these companies besides just silver and gold. Analyst forecast $23. Nobody's updated their forecast in a while. Rare earth stocks get a boost from something new. Results. All right, let's look at the financials real quick. Oh, okay. Don Jr.'s on the board. Oh, that's UMAC. Okay, Anya. Very quickly, let's look at the financials. Operating income, never been positive. Net income. Again, I do this for every company. No judgment. I'm just telling you what I see. And if it's good or bad on the initial sniff test. Net income, negative for the last 2 quarters in a pretty big way. Earnings per share, negative. Free cash flow, never been positive. All right, income statement is a bit of a red flag. They have no revenue. Am I missing something here? Selling, research, is this an exploratory company? All right, so we have a non-revenue company here. Revenue, 0. Yeah, I mean, this is the riskiest of risk. This is like investing in an MMTLP or a Hycroft. Look at the difference there, right? MMTLP went private, was worth nothing. Hycroft went from $2 to $50. What is the story with the management team and the company? What is the story with the minerals or whatever that they're mining? Hycroft was run by fraudulent executives who lied to investors and created a network of social media personalities that also lied. And they told them that they had billions of oil and gas under their leases and that they had interested buyers, when none of that was true. None of that was true. And we know that from court documents, and these executives are now under SEC investigation. That's how bad things can be. Then you have a Hycroft, which is also non-revenue, but they have measured, indicated, and inferred, confirmed scientifically silver and gold resources. They keep on drilling. They keep on finding new resources. They just need to put their plan together, and we'll know in the next 60 days when they're going to get back into drilling and what the financials on that will be. So I don't know on USA Rare Earth if it's a MMTLP or a Hycroft. I don't know. That's you need to ask yourself, and you need to be very unemotional and do not get your information from social media, but go read analyst reports, read the company 10Qs and 10Ks. Balance sheet on this company: cash $257 million, which bumped up bigly in the last quarter. We'll get to the why in just a second. Total current assets $258 million, liabilities $15 million, total assets $323, total liabilities. I mean, it's not the worst balance sheet. Slightly negative shareholders' equity, but they have positive working capital. People will tell you, oh, the book value. Yeah, so what? If you're gambling on this, you're not trying to buy it because of book value. But I mean, this is not beautiful, having a negative book value. So what do they redeemingly have to make you invest in this company? It's got to be a management story. The balance sheet is the income statement is no revenue, and cash flow, they issued stock. That's where their cash came from that bumped up the balance sheet. So they're diluting. I don't see what's good here. You're going to have to sell me on a management story because the numbers are not compelling. Stock's done good. $5 to 40, fell back down to 11 though. I mean, it seems to have some sort of meme-ish status or news-driven status that's whipping the price around. I would say yellow flag on this one. You need to be extra diligent in your research and really understand the management story here. Pond Prowler, don't take Hycroft for granted. USAR chart showing my micro thesis. I mean, the chart looks good, right? If I was just a chart guy and I said, oh, it's been running since January 2nd from 11 to 24 and showing no signs of slowing down on growing volume, no argument for me. The chart looks good. I need to dig into the why. And if you know me, I can't do that on a live stream. If I haven't researched the company, I need to go read some 10Qs. I need to read some analyst reports, at least some news articles. But I'd spend half a day. If I'm going to buy this thing at 25 thinking it's going back to 40, I better know why. I better know why for me. And if I read it and I believe it, then maybe I take a chance, because playing a hot hand, you know, who knows if the story is good, who knows how high it could go. But if there is no story, then it could just as easily fall all the way back down. And I just don't know. I don't know. Trump admin to acquire stake in USA Rare Earth for $1.6 billion. I mean, okay. That's interesting news. I need to go actually read that article. What does that mean? Are they getting shares Is it new issuance of stock? What does that mean? I don't know. I did see that headline this morning, and I didn't read it, but I will tonight before I go to sleep. Uranium, yeah, we have some folks that are really into uranium in the Discord, and I will try and get more up to speed on that one as well. I've been so fascinated by the gold and silver that I've been only giving a passing attention to copper and uranium and other stuff. But the book that I'm reading right now, the chapters that I'm on, are talking to some of the best traders out there that were commodities traders. And so it's kind of reigniting my interest to look at some of these other commodities that I haven't been trading. OnlyFine says, are you getting a robo-taxi fleet? We have the Tesla taxis here, and we have Waymo and maybe one other one. And I did see an article the other day that the Teslas went driverless, but apparently what they're not advertising is they have a chase vehicle with a driver in it following the driverless car. Extra monitoring. The other interesting thing this weekend is I saw people on Austin Reddit complaining that there were no Waymo available. Why can't we get a Waymo today? Hello, you dum-dums. Waymo is driverless, but that doesn't mean it can drive on ice, which is all we got for 20 miles any direction, nothing but ice. So all the Waymo are parked. Sorry. Stay your ass at home till Monday at lunch. And everything's going to go bye-bye. No more ice, no more snow, no more sleet. It will all melt in a few hours. Just hang on. Oh my gosh, Pompreller. Waymo drove into a fire station or a fire situation. Either way, it was a situation. Anya says, serious question. If the world is going to boycott the U.S., is the market going to crash? Well, it certainly wouldn't be helpful, Anya. Certainly would not be helpful. Let's look at the headlines. Allow me to look at the headlines. Not there. Over here on my other monitor. Well, we can put it up here. Let's do it live. Europeans only got the, let's see what time, still 8 hours ahead. Is it 8 hours ahead or 6 hours ahead? Anyways, I don't think the European markets aren't open yet. Let's look at Asia. Mostly red. Gold 5,000, silver 109. Oh boy, it's got to be a fun week, ladies and gentlemen. Crypto Bitcoin at 87.3, recovered a little bit from the lows on the day. Brent at 65. Bonds are down. Pre-market futures just slightly down. Headlines: Alex Pretty, yeah, don't take a gun to an ice fight. Alex. Carney says Canada not pursuing free trade deal with China. I'm looking for the news about the government shutdown. Shutdown odds grow as Senate Republicans won't remove funding after Pretty killing. Gold surges past 5,000 as investors seek shelter from global risks. Well, for some of us that are diversified, the whole frickin' point of tonight's live stream, if you own some metals still, that will offset any spanking that your equities portfolio takes. And then eventually things will fix itself. Geopolitical uncertainties have the Asian Pacific markets trading mixed. Musk's $1 trillion pay package renews focus on soaring CEO compensation. I wonder if they mentioned Ryan Cohen in this article. The other thing that I think for my Discord folks that we need to start looking at is energy stocks, not because of the winter snap, but just because of the cycle of where energy stocks are at right now. If we're looking at 5-10-year plays. And here we have that article about USA rare earth. I mean, that could be an interesting little momentum play tomorrow. 1.6 billion debt and equity investment package unveiled on Monday. Mine slated to open by 2028. So they're not even going to have revenue for several years. It doesn't mean that the stock can't go up. Look at Highcroft. They're not going to probably have active mine till 2028. Still ran from $2 to $50. Depends on what these rare earth minerals will be worth and what the excitement is. I'm definitely going to have that one on my watch list for momentum trade tomorrow. USAR. AMPY. Anya is asking about energy stocks. Amplify Energy. Is that electric, Anya? Oh, natural. Okay. Oil and natural gas. All right. That's the sector that I wanted to look into. I don't know, but remind me tomorrow, Anya. The reason I brought that up is I want you guys to DM me or drop in the daily hot stock chat your oil and gas tickers that you're interested in. If this is a sector that you're actively following or invested in, it's not one that I typically follow on a day-to-day or month-to-month basis because it's so cyclical. But look at this, $25. It's trading at $4 now. I mean, I'm just saying, if you find the right energy stock and energy prices are going to go up, perhaps we can find a couple of tickers that we're good with investing in for the next 5 years. Pond Prowler. Oh my gosh. I'm going to pull up before we leave, Anya, just the financials on this one. AMPY. Flat revenue. Not super exciting. Net income. Not super exciting. Earnings per share. I mean, I think we can find better, Anya. Why do they have no cash on the balance sheet? That's curious. I don't know. I think we can find better, Anya. You can leave me a note why you like it. Is Tiny Boat Angler, is that Karen? I can't remember. Did you change your name? Hello? 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 Karen, is that you? Terry, is Yes, it is, Karen. All right. Hoorah. Hoorah, Karen. Joe says we got about 18 inches of snow in New York State. Is that NYS, New York State? 18 inches. That is crazy. I was saying at the beginning of the live stream, we got here in Central Texas between a half inch to 2 inches of just basically ice. If I walk out of my backyard, there's no sinking in at all. It sounds like you're walking on top of a frozen lake, that kind of creaking crunch of ice settling but not breaking. And yeah, nobody could go anywhere today. Nobody could go anywhere, but it'll all be gone here by tomorrow. No shoveling necessary. Heck, let me see what time we get above freezing tomorrow. Weather. On the plus side, my wife did not have to go to work today. So she was happy about that. We're going to be, around lunchtime. It's going to get up to 36. So maybe we get a little bit of melting, but then it's going to be back in the 20s overnight. The problem here, like tonight, is there's ice everywhere, and even if it melted, it was going to freeze again tonight, and it'll freeze again tomorrow. Well, Tuesday we're in the clear for sure. Anya says, I saw a YouTube video on an area in Russia that got 8 feet of snow. I saw that. It was like Kamchatka or something, Anya. I saw entire streets buried, trucks and cars buried, and people jumping out of their multi-level condos into snow drifts. That is crazy. Zachary says, unfortunately, these storms kill cattle. Yeah. I was actually worried about the chickadillies out in the backyard, but I have a nice luxury Cadillac condo chicken coop for them out there, and they're completely protected from the wind. And I locked them in there last night, and then when it warmed up a little bit here today, I let them into the chicken run, and because it's all got a metal roof, there was no snow on the ground. So they could come out and get fresh air and eat and drink. But they're not very happy that they were cooped up. Get it? Cooped up. But But Anya, if they're all in the nesting area, it's like a 4 by 4 by 4 box, 4 feet by 4 feet by 4 feet, with a angled roof and a lot of bedding in there. And then on the roosting bars, they all just huddle together. And if there's no wind, I have windows that I can open in the summer and close in the winter. They stay pretty warm, warm enough to not die. Anya says, I wonder if Mediocre brought his birds into the house. Yeah, I don't know, Anya. I haven't spoken to him this weekend. I'll find out tomorrow. Quit egging him on. Oh, Lordy. But yeah, Anya, I mean, chickens can be good to 20 degrees. They can. But Texas chickens get used to 70, 80, 90, 100 degrees. So a snap in one day from 60 to 20 is kind of rough on them. There's no adjustment period here. We were literally at 65 degrees a couple days ago. They molt and they put on their winter coat and all that stuff, but it could be rough on them. More chickens die of heat stroke than freezing. I'll tell you that. Why did the chicken cross the ice, Pond Prowler? Even if I let them out, Anya, they couldn't have. There's no scratching around they could do in the yard. Nothing they could feed on. It was a rock hard sheet of ice across the entire backyard. They would have just come up on my deck, on my patio, and sat there and pooped all day. Why did the chicken cross the ice? Because it was protesting. Oh my gosh. Oh, God. Because he was from Minnesota? I thought that's where he was going with it. Why did the chicken cross the ice? Because he was from Minnesota. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's leave it at that. Ba-dum-bump. What time is it? 9:38. We'll probably do a market live tomorrow. We'll do a market live. Then I thank you for your feedback and discussion on diversification tonight. I'm going to put out a 5 to 6 minute video on it tomorrow. That'll just kind of be, what do you call it? Evergreen material. Next time you hear someone say, for Tony, diversification means you should buy AMC and GameStop. I want you to have the video to drop them the link to say, you're full of it, sir. You're full of shit. Tony does not and has not ever said that. So we'll get that video out tomorrow. It also is important stuff for you guys to be aware of. Most of my viewers, I get it, my core audience, you're good at knowing when to buy and sell. You're good at diversification. You're good at risk management. But we get these new people, and I'd like to teach best practices so that everybody here can survive and thrive all at the same time. We're all down for a short squeeze. We're all down for a MOAS on our speculative plays, but we keep them sized reasonably here. I get it. You might be able to buy a bigger boat than me if you're all in on GameStop. But I bet you won't, because you're also not going to sell. I have less shares than you, but you're not going to sell. Who's going to come out better?
Up and to the right. Up and to the right. Up and to the right.
Hello, millionaires. Short squeeze plays where fortunes flip. GameStop's journey, an epic trip. From humble roots to the moon we fly. A company's dream will amplify. Reddit warriors, keyboards in hand, with their eyes on the prize, they took a stand. No one's selling, we're here to fight. How does it go? Up and to the right, up and to the right. We're in for the ride. It's us on the rise, it can't be denied. Up and to the right, through the day and night. Together we'll soar, my ass is in sight.
Surprise.
We're gonna win.